guys? Welcome back to the JP and Trav show on the JP and Trav YouTube channel, excuse me, and also live from Travis's X account and his Instagram. As always, it's your host with the most, JP, and to my right, I have my esteemed co-host, brother, and friend, Travis J. Davison. Travis, how you feeling, brother?
Man, good, man. I've been so busy, man. Got back from Columbus, hit the ground running. Did the interview with Trey Lamb the other day. That should be airing, I think, tomorrow. Actually, about how TU football has partnered with us at Team Sports Consulting Group to do all their transfer portal evaluations, make sure they don't have any swings and fit misses like we've seen, like we've talked a lot about on this channel. And then obviously the American Baseball Coaches Association. I was in Columbus for 3 days, came back, and the Shrine Game made their official announcement that they're partnering with us for the relational science, and then closed the volleyball program today. So I'll be coming up to Indianapolis during the combine and doing that. And then, yeah, just been busy. Radio today, and then straight into a meeting, a call with the bar catering for the wedding, a little consultation there. And the dryer's on the fritz to start working on that. And it's just been busy. And then I go west of Fort Worth this weekend to onboard a baseball team. Actually, Jason Witten's high school, the baseball team there, will be onboarding them. So, yeah, man, just staying busy, man. How's retirement for you? How's life on the other side of the AD world?
Well, I am still ADing currently. I'll be done at the end of the year. I am finishing the full year out, but it's been a a bittersweet thing. I've had a lot of kids and parents and families come up to me and kind of tell me that they'll miss me a lot, but they understand that in this next season of my life, I'm trying to prioritize just building my family and having a good family culture, which is you can't really trade that for a lot. And I've had other ads, my referee assigner, that assigns all my sports, talk to me today and say that honestly, if they could, a lot of them are older than me, 40s, 50s. I'm a pretty young AD. They said if they could go back and redo it, that they would spend more time with their kids too. And so it just, makes me feel like I'm making the right decision, listening to the Lord on it. And I fully believe at some point in time, I think I'll get back into it, whether it's, obviously ADing again or even coaching at a high level, just because I know I have that in me. But yeah, I just think that it'll be a nice season, like nice change of pace, open. I believe, again, we talked about it. I think there's also more to do maybe for the JP and Trav show, that I can have more resources and time for that. More resources and times to help with some other things that are going on. Maybe even more resources and times to get some of these Indiana ADs cracked open for TSCG. I mean, dang, So, but yeah, man. So it's been cool. It's been cool. Looking forward to these next few months and kind of getting the Joe C treatment a little bit.
Yeah. So like with Joe C, as he kind of goes on his tour, like everybody's getting them like fedoras, right? Everybody's got a custom fedora for them. When you go around to different schools, do they give you bowls of soup or perhaps bushels of apple or anything like that? I mean, I don't know what I don't know. Maybe.
No, man, I'm seeing it as, because I'm so young, I'm seeing it as the cool AD. Like a lot of other schools and people, like a lot of kids, like they be trying to, like I've had 2 op-eds in the yearbook about my swag in the because we got pajama day for Spirit Week and I'd be putting a do-rag on, you know what I mean? I'd be in there, I'm just being me.
Oh man, Kirby's gonna have something. Kirby's not in here yet, I guarantee it, or else we'd be hearing about that.
By the way, everybody, that's my father, not a whale. Just in case we, just in case we forgot. But nah, man, it'll be interesting. I'm sure there's some surprises for me. I don't know. They haven't told me much, but I know that there'll probably be something come around the bend. But just excited to spend some last moments with some of the student athletes that I came up with, and seeing them through. So many seniors. It's crazy. These seniors were like seventh graders, I think, when I started. So I've seen them through all the way through junior high. So it's been pretty fun.
Yeah, it's cool, man. I'm happy for you. Happy for you. And yes, happy for you to I got a client in Indianapolis before you did. You live there. I'm like, man, I don't know what's going on there. But yeah,
how did that happen?
So we're at the AVCA show, AVCA. It's very difficult going from the AVCA and then like a week later going to the ABCA. Like very confusing in conversations and around the office. But at the AVCA show, met this coach from Marion in Indianapolis, and he's like, "All right, cool." It was cool. It's like straight to the point. He's like, "All right, what's it cost? All right, so I got this many people. Let's do it. What day works best?" I was like, "Yeah." I told him I was like, probably late February because he wants it for his spring team, and I'm like, "Well, I'm not sure if we're going up for the combine yet, but I'm gonna be up there for Marion Consulting, so." I might, even if we're not officially at the combine, I'll pop over, do something. So it was funny. My birthday's the 23rd, so we're doing it on the 26th. So I told Coach, I was like, man, is there any steakhouse, like old steakhouse that's got some like killer shrimp cocktail, that I could try out, maybe celebrate my birthday, since I'll be up there? And he's like, yeah, I think we can find one. I was like, all right, bet. So he's a super cool guy. So yeah, amazing. I'm looking forward to that. I'm excited to see Marion's campus and it's kind of roll around.
It's nice. I mean, they just built a nice basketball gym that, and I won't go on a tangent on this, but Marion is in the conference that my alma mater is in, Grace College, and so right now we are number one in NAIA in basketball. I just got done watching their game actually, and last week I went to Marion. I was on Marion's campus because they played them last Wednesday, and Marion just built 2 years ago, state of the art, new basketball facility, weight room, everything. So that's really nice. And they have a legit football program there. I think they won like 4 or 5 NAIA national championships.
Wow.
So Marion's a good school. It's a cool school. So to be honest, yeah, we'll talk more. But maybe that'll get you in with their AD, Steve Downing, he's a good dude. But like I said, for whatever reason, once one does it, it starts to trickle. There's a trickle effect. So I'm hoping that
sounds good.
Gets in.
Sounds good. Well,
yeah, let's talk about some Sooner football, man.
Yeah, definitely Sooner football, because I'll tell you what, the radio show today was all crying about Sooner basketball. It was a long show. It was a long show. People were ready to get Porter on out of there. Well, my thing is, like, I was talking to one of the somebody in the OU basketball organization. I'll just put it that way. And he's like, I don't know. He's like, we're 15th in the SEC in NIL money. Our roster is probably a third of what Florida spent on theirs. Like, and it's just basketball. Like, everybody has a new roster every year. Like, Florida's whole front line goes like 6'10", 6'11", 7'1", and we just don't have that. We have like a skinny Russian dude, and we got Mo, like, and that's it. So, like, it's just tough because I don't know what coach you can put in there and will have success if you've got the 15th out of 16 NIL budgets, right? Like, football's top 5 in the SEC, and they just hired a big old general manager with 10 NFL scouts and this, that, and the, like, basketball didn't have that.
Yeah,
like, doesn't have that at all. They can't even get a new arena, like, for decades. Like, OU's going to have more Switzer centers and more innovations in 5 years than OU basketball's had in 30. So it's just they've got well, it's a football school that's been terrible at football lately.
They've also had historically, with Billy Donovan, right? Like,
won a national champ. We've never won a national championship. They've won many. Like, Florida's a better basketball program than Oklahoma, and Oklahoma's a good basketball program historically, but Florida's willing to spend. Like, if admin, if fans, if ticket sales and this, that, and the other, like, if OU wants to be an everything school, then administration and donors and fans, everybody's got to make it that way. You can't just go hire some former OU player and be like, boom, here we go. All of a sudden we're competing. Like, it's not going to work like that. Like, you're going to need a more expensive roster, and that just is what it is. Unfortunately. I wish it wasn't that way.
Yeah. No, I agree. You can only do so much, right, with what you have. And that's at any level. And again, I know we talked about my ADing a little bit, but I'll use an example even for my school. Like, we're 1A school here in Indiana, and so obviously it's not like we got a budget even to go out and I know a lot of people want to think recruiting doesn't happen at the high school level, but it does. Okay, so like for example, my girls program, not that great, hasn't really been that good. A lot of my girls don't really like to play basketball. We try to get girls that like to over here, but it's tough to sell it. It's tough to sell the program. So, like, I had a coach for my first 4 years. Great dude. Love him. We have a good relationship to this day. Good coach. Didn't work. Won 2 games in 2 years, bro. Like, that bad. Yeah. Okay, so everybody's like, well, girls not having fun. We're not winning games. Okay, you know what? I think it's time for a new voice. Okay, new voice comes in. This is his second year. They won 1 game this year. They won 1 game last year. So far, I'm just being honest. The reality is, like, it don't matter what type of coach you are. To be honest with you, you're only as good as what you have. You are only as good as what you have. They don't have ball handlers. They just don't have nobody who likes to play basketball. Right? Like, I've had nights where I'm like, do I need to blow up the girls basketball program? I'll be so hungry.
That's what fans are wanting to do with OU.
And that's extreme. But like you said, like, Porter Moser can be as good of a coach as we want him to be. Obviously, we've seen what he can do with Loyola and everything like that. So why can't you do it at OU? Well, he's not playing SEC schools at OU or at Loyola. That's the reality. Right.
It's just a different competition. He'll go somewhere else and have success. Like, like with a little bit more even playing field. And like, Jim and Arlington.
Don't say that, Boomer Sooner. Hey, that's been said before, and people get finicky about that.
Yeah, they get really offended. I call them front runners because they want to show only if you win, I'll show up. But like with Jim, it's like Josie had the jackpot with Jenny B. I think Jenny's a great coach. I really do. I mean, do you not think NIL paid? Do you think NIL paid for Aaliyah Chavez, number 1 player in the country? Reagan Beers, number 1 portal, asset in the country, brought her in. Like, do you think it was just recruiting chops that did that, or you think it was backing the Brinks truck up for Aaliyah Chavez?
It is interesting, Trav, though, because it's like you would think we have something. Like, I mean, Blake and Trey have both committed millions to the Oklahoma. I mean, a whole center, like, you know what I mean? Trey's the assistant GM, so it's like, it's just interesting. It is interesting.
Well, part of the problem is, how many NFL facilities have you been in? I'm sure you've been in the Colts, but I've had the opportunity to be in a few. They're not nice. Like, they're nice, but like the locker rooms, like OU's facility, like, is like blows it away. Like LSU's blows it away. Like, because at the pro level, you don't have to recruit. Oklahoma basketball, like, I don't know, back when they built or when they renovated, like, they spent $10 million on a new locker room.
Yeah.
In the NIL era, that is gross misuse of funds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like $10 million, you know how many, like, $10 million would fund your roster for, I don't know, like a competitive roster for 2 years.
Yeah.
And then who knows what happens, right? Like, I just don't, like, you have to retain people. like there's far more competition in men's basketball than there is women's right now.
Mhm.
Like, and that's just true, like in general. Like, that's not, being bigoted or anything. It's just like there just is. Like when you look at there's more parity in men's basketball. It's a bigger money maker, with TV deals. So you're theoretically going to have more turnover, more parity because there's more money being thrown around. Like, who knows what we paid, Xavier Brown. I don't know for a fact, but I would imagine that it's more than Reagan Beers. And
Yeah.
Reagan Beers was a higher ranked portal player than Xavier Brown by a long shot. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
so it's just a different thing. Like, you need money to compete in the men's game. You need it, need it, need it. And
Yeah.
Oklahoma basketball just does not have it. So they just need to make some decisions. They need to make some decisions going forward if they want to try and be a basketball program, a school with a good basketball program.
Yeah.
Because the problem is when you start dividing that 20.5%, you're gonna have to take from somewhere, and you're not gonna take from softball. Like if OU softball never like if OU softball was like Kansas softball, like OU would probably have an extremely well funded like baseball program or basketball program. You know what I mean? But like Oklahoma softball has the biggest budget out of any softball team in the country. So I'm not saying to cut that budget. I love me some softball and I love me some national championships. I love me some Patty. I love all of them. But
Yeah.
you just like there's not enough to go around. And when you have one sport that's a traditional non-revenue sport, just blowing it out of the water in dynastic fashion, historical fashion,
Yeah.
money's going to come from somewhere. And also, I think basketball is really one of the only times we see Oklahoma's population hold it back. Now, a lot of people are thinking, Travis, there's plenty of people in Norman. There's plenty of people in Oklahoma City. There's plenty of people. We fit, 80,000 into a football stadium every week. Yeah, but I wonder how many people at that football game are from Houston, are from Dallas, are from Tulsa, are from Kansas City, are from Lawton, or from anywhere where they can't drive to a weekday game. You know what I mean? Like our buddy Wallace. Wallace hasn't missed a football game since God knows when. But he lives in Houston full time. Like, he's not going to come to a basketball game on a Wednesday. Like, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people, they live in Dallas full time. And they come up 2 hours, make, game, stay in the hotels. Tulsa the same way, hour and a half away. So when you have the Thunder and Spurs playing, or just the Thunder in general, Thunder Spurs was last night, obviously. But when you have the Thunder playing, and they're the literal world champions, the best basketball team in the world, like you're fighting against that. I don't know. Like, there's not that many basketball purists that are going to turn down Wemby, Chet, and Wemby SGA. Instead, they're going to go sit in Lloyd Noble. I don't think so.
Yeah.
But I think that's part of the problem is football games. We get this idea that our fan base is just, you can pack them in any building, in the state. You have a line out the side of it. But midweek basketball games, I think the sheer population of our state, I think that's telling, because I think for the first time I think it's this year, for the first time in OU freshman history, there are more Texans than Oklahomans. There's just a lot of Dallas. As Dallas continues expanding to the north, like Denton and Frisco and all that, Addison, like it's all pointing towards Oklahoma. Like, that's Oklahoma country. That's OU country.
Yeah.
Like, so, I think that, I think that that's part of it. I think that so many people, we're becoming so much more, a beneficiary of the Texas dollar. Like my buddy Doobie, like, that's got all those houses that he rents. And he's like, man, Dallas kids will come and spend whatever. He's like, it's crazy. He's like, they'll just come to it. But again, like the Texification, the state of Texasification of Oklahoma's fan base, I think is affecting like basketball. Like, because I just don't think, and you'll see it with baseball midweeks as well. Like they'll be super light because, there's only so many of those OU basketball fans and OU baseball fans, not just OU fans, but OU basketball and OU baseball fans that will attend.
Yeah. And I to be honest, Trav, I think as Oklahoma City continues to grow, I think you'll see a lot more, honestly, a lot more of that as there's more things to do. Because that's a little bit of, I was gonna, offer, Indiana as an example. Obviously, Indiana football is on a crazy run right now, but you look at what Indiana football was 2 years ago. And I'm not comparing Oklahoma basketball to Indiana football previously because, Oklahoma's had some success, right, in basketball, but like it was just like people weren't going to go to the games. Now, Assembly Hall, it don't matter how bad Indiana has been over the last few years, average,
right,
whatever. They pack an Assembly Hall out. So sellouts. Me and Kirsten have been down to Assembly Hall because it's just an hour from our house. Sellouts, even though it's average team. Whereas, like, obviously, if it's an average OU team, people are not. You maybe got like 4,000 people in Lloyd Noble. So it's like, and when you have a city like Indianapolis, it's only an hour from, like, Oklahoma City is only 30 minutes, really. Indy is an hour north of IU, but you have the Colts, like in the 2000s, Peyton Manning, you got Reggie Miller, you got, like, there's so many things to do, and I think as Oklahoma City expands with a championship team like the Thunder, whatever else David Colt has coming your guys' way, because he's a great mayor and there's a lot of things going on in Oklahoma City. Like, those things will continue, I think, to take away from some of the secondary sports at OU that aren't doing great unless there's a pop factor, like a new facility or.
Yeah, the new facility is a must. Like, they've got to. And, like, I think the mayor actually messaged our text line today, the Norman mayor, and we didn't respond to it, but he was like, moving building a basketball arena 3 miles away from campus is not the answer. And I was like, well, I mean, what we got going right now ain't the answer either. So, like,
correct.
I think that it is actually get closer to Oklahoma City, get closer to all that. But like, what Jim says, I understand the Thunder, but then you got Kelvin Sampson and that Houston Cougar problem. Yeah.
But they're good.
Like, well, they're not only are they good, but Houston invests in basketball much more significantly than Oklahoma does. Yeah. And also, like, if you're thinking of an attendance factor, the Houston Metro has 8 million people in it.
Yeah.
The state of Oklahoma has 4. State of Oklahoma has 4. City of Houston Metro has 8 million people. They're never going to struggle for attendance on anything. They're trying to find places for people to sit at all times.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's just students aren't going to basketball games like they used to. And they've been all right this year, but just tough, man. I think that if the stadiums, I mean, I don't consider the stadium very walkable right now. Like, you can get there, but like on a cold night, you're not walking there. Like, I think at North Park Stadium, you're already playing in front of 3,300 people. You're telling me you can't get 3,300 people into a North Park Stadium? And a North Park Stadium that's, instead of, 5 digits of attendance, like, how about a capacity of 7,000? That'd be great. Make it smaller, make it easier to sell out, make it more intimate, have some premium areas because those will generate revenue. It's all about generating revenue. That's why they did the extremely unpopular West Side football renovation announcement. It's all about generating revenue. They're going to sell those suites for $10 million plus, and boy, they're going to sell them. The middle one's going to go for $30 million, and they already have an agreement for it.
Oof.
So, like, I'm sorry, like, I know it's canceling out seats and whatnot. It is a revenue generating game, and right now, Lloyd Noble, that don't generate nothing. Yeah. So, because Like, yeah, you can have sponsor dollars and whatnot, but you need suites. Like, you need premium seating, you need club seating, you need all these things. As much as we don't like them, we don't have to go full Jerry World, but
Yeah,
the
Lloyd ain't got none of that.
the suites that are around the Paycom, like those are what's generating revenue for the Thunder from a stadium perspective.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, the seats are great. Loud City is iconic. They do an incredible job. They all matter tremendously. There's a reason that people in suits are following around the people in the suites the whole time, making sure that they're taken care of with whatever they need. Like, it just is what it is. Like, you need premium seating if it's a revenue game, and there's no way to do that at Lloyd Noble. And since there's no way to do that in Lloyd Noble, you can't continue with Lloyd Noble. It's just as simple as that.
yeah. No, I don't disagree. And as you said, talking about the money thing, I think it's a good transition into college football. And what we're talking about, and you didn't lose me. We're trying to update the production side here. When one person's talking, kind of like first take. We say we give them a solo shot. But now, anyways, transitioning into NIL and obviously transfer portals ending on Friday, like you said, Trav. Like in this era, we have to have even more generated revenue. On top of like obviously asking for donors, but like finding other ways to get that money from those donors. And as much as like, yeah, does everybody want to have 100,000, seat stadium like Tennessee, 100,000 seat stadium like A&M? Like, yeah, but honestly, when we look at the four teams that were in the top four, the Final Four this year, none of them I don't think have a capacity over like 65,000. Like Oregon's is what, like 60?
Yeah, Autzen small, like 68 or something like that.
Yeah, Miami's is not that big because it's like an NFL stadium, 65, something like that. Indiana's is like 50.
Yeah.
And then you have who's Ole Miss. Ole Miss, while they have like a nice, experience, their stadium is also, I think, in the 60s. So
yeah,
it's not.
No, that's a good point.
It's not about like, yeah, sure. Like when you have home games, you want that crowd factor, yes. But like when it comes to like the money side of it, like the experience is going to matter for people. And so if OU can create a better experience for, yes, the not only it'll be a better experience somewhat for some of the fans that normally come, that sit over there, but obviously it's generally geared towards the donors. And you can't have your cake and eat it too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if we
it's going to be better for it. It's going to be better for everybody. Like,
yeah,
you can be mad all you want if Jeff Bezos gets a tax break.
Yeah,
but I'm still going to order from Amazon. You know what I mean? Like my life is still more convenient because Jeff Bezos is investing. You know what I mean? Like it's still better.
Yeah.
So there are going to be features of the Oklahoma Stadium that are just better for the everyday fan, and you didn't have to pay for them. Like, so you're going to benefit from them. So anyways, I didn't want it to become a full-blown football renovation, but it is all about revenue generation is what I'm getting at. Like Tennessee, like at that stadium, I remember sitting in the press box looking across going, why do they have two towers? What's in that other tower? It's all suites. Tennessee has an absurd number of suites, premium seating, club, everything like that. An absurd number.
Yeah.
Like you literally think of the press box that's on top of Oklahoma, put it on the other side too. That's how many suites they have. That's ridiculous. And that's what's paying the bills.
Yeah.
That's what's paying the bills.
And it gets you the players that you want in the portal, recruiting.
Precisely.
Like I said, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't complain about not being able to beg, we broke, but then complaining about when they're doing things to not be in that way.
And I talked to OU's CFO. What is Marcus Bowman's title? I don't know. I talked to him on the sideline before Missouri game. And he was like, the plan is to bowl the north end. Like, that's the plan. He's like, but the west side has to pay for it. Like, the revenue generated from the west side is going to allow us to add seats to the north end. I was like, well, why didn't y'all announce that? He was like, man, we talked about it, but I was like, hey, it's all good. But because, they don't want to, they can't talk about the future in that sense. Like, oh, this project is going to fund another project that's going to fund another project. Like,
yeah, yep.
You end up getting in trouble. You start doing that. But I mean, we're still waiting on this Thad Turnipseed, beautiful football headquarters that he was going to build. Still have no idea what happened with that. We saw plans leak. We saw all this, that, and the other. Have no idea where that went.
Yeah. Yeah. Who knows, man? What do we think, man, about two things, Trav and chat that are in here? Transfer portal closes Friday. What do we think about what the Sooners have done so far? I don't know. I think they're sitting like around 10 or 12, I think, with the transfer portal class. And then, even about some of the guys that have left and where they've landed. I mean, you got Gentry Williams that landed at Georgia. And I'm not saying Gentry's gonna he might start there. He if he's healthy, he may be a depth piece. But regardless, Georgia's we know what Georgia's been, and so you got a lot of guys that are landing at Power 4 programs, SEC programs. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I would say that's probably a good sign because it means the roster's improving.
Yeah.
Like your recruiting's improving, your roster's improving. And if Jim Nagy and co. think that they've got two better corners than a guy that's going to be playing at Georgia, or they've got, better offensive line than guys that'll go to Mississippi State or better, just whatever, right? Like, let me get let me see if I can find the list. Somebody put it up the other day. It was really helpful. Let's see.
List of where they transferred.
Yeah. And it is funny because we're getting more transfers from Power 4 and SEC schools as well than we even did last year. So I would think both of those things are good. In general. All right, here we go. Gentry Williams went to Georgia. Sammy went to UCLA. Dolby, Isaiah Dent, and Raggins all went to Mississippi State. Giovanni Gibson, Cincy. Luke Buklenko, Arizona State. So far, we're all P4 still.
Yeah.
Carson Kent at Pitt. Logan Howland, Virginia Tech. Taylor Tatum, Michigan. Marcus Strong at Clemson. Caden Helms at Minnesota. Jacob Sexton, Oklahoma State. Kobe McKenzie, Northwestern. Javante Barnes, Kentucky. Jake Taylor, Iowa State. Devon Jordan, Baylor. Michael and Malik Hawkins to West Virginia. Jaden Gibson, South Carolina. Marcus Wimberly to Utah. And the lone one that has landed somewhere that did not go P4 is KJ Daniels at UAB. That's pretty crazy when you think about where some of these other guys went from, that Lincoln recruited and didn't cut it. It'll be interesting to see. Troy Everett at Ole Miss, obviously. Jaden Hardy ended up at Colorado, so they're P12. I haven't seen where Kearney, Carion, or Ricky Lolohea will land, but that's the thing. It's like the guys that you're processing are ending up at P4, Big Ten, SEC schools. I said Sexton to OSU. And the guys you're bringing in are from places like Michigan and Florida and things like that. So it's like the overall health of the roster, that's a good sign. It's a good sign when the guys you're processing are still good players.
Yeah.
And they are.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it'll be interesting. Another interesting tidbit, obviously, we see that Nick Anderson is back in the portal. And I don't know if there's somehow an interest of him coming back to Oklahoma. I saw people saying, "Oh, we need help at receiver." Do we need help though? I thought we had pretty much gotten who we wanted at this point in the at the receiver position. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Trav, but
I'm gonna stay pretty evergreen on this. We've talked a lot about it on this channel. I don't want any more transfer receivers. Not in this class.
Yeah.
We got Manny Choice. We got Elijah Thomas. We've got Jaden Petit. We've got Jashir Rogers. We've got Odom. You've got a bunch of guys that you recruited out of high school. I don't want another transfer wide receiver. Like, at all. Like, we didn't get to see any of them this year. Only 7 catches this year were made by people that Emmett has signed out of high school. And now, I'm not sure I read you the list of everybody that was signed to Oklahoma out of high school. I'll read the 3 classes in a row. Okay. So it was Jaden Gibson, gone. Nick Anderson, gone. LV Bunkley Shelton, gone. JJ Hester, gone. Jacquez Petaway, Keon Brown, Brandon Thompson, Andrell Anthony, Zion Kearney, Ivan Carion, Zion Raggins, KJ Daniels. Those are the last 3 classes of 23, 24, 22, 23, 24. All of them gone. All of them. Like, it's crazy to me. Like, so I don't want any transfer portal wide receiver. When it comes to Nick Anderson, come on, man. Like, we'll always have Texas. Unfortunately, that's the last time we scored a touchdown against Texas. But, like, he didn't play his freshman year. His sophomore, or I guess his redshirt freshman year, he looked good. His, I guess, redshirt sophomore year, he did not play. Missed every game with an injury. And then he goes to LSU. What does he do? Injures himself against Bama. And then I think he was in like an unfortunate car wreck, which gave him a concussion. I think he's fine. But like, the guy has been in college, 4 years now. He's had 1 good year, 1 healthy year, where he wasn't even healthy the entire time, but 1 healthy year. And he was really good that year. But you just can't. I mean, I'll be interested to see where he ends up because when he is healthy, boy, is he good. But I think more and more people are looking at injury reports going, golly, like, availability is the best ability. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I mean, especially when you're going through a season, like when, you're going to talk about playing NFL level or types of games in terms of like, you get to a national championship, you're playing 16 games. You need guys who are going to stay healthy and longevity. And with that, you need competitive depth because if you do have guys go down, you got to have guys that can step in and whatnot. So, Trav, who do you think that we are looking to add in the transfer portal? You think they're looking to add more at the defensive tackle position? I don't know. I know we got linebacker maybe wrapped up. Obviously, we're waiting to see what the NCAA says on Heineke. I mean, I know that just because the transfer portal is closing doesn't mean we have an idea what Kip is going to do, everything like that, or that, we're going to see, hey, what's it going to look like when he goes or not. And that might be a February decision. I don't know. When do you think that he would decide? What has happened?
We kept on moving back and forth. Yeah, I mean, we need to find out about Owen first and foremost, man. Like, is nobody working at the NCAA? Like, where is everybody? Like, can we not get an answer? Like, he's being listed on other, on the like the Senior Bowl roster, this, that, and the other. He can still not play in that, but he needs to know quickly because those games are about to happen.
Yes,
we're about to go down to Shrine next week. Like we need to know that. So, anyways, I would like to see another defensive tackle. I would like to see another linebacker. I would like to see a third tight end because I want to see what Jason Witten can do.
Yeah.
Like, he's on campus. Like, come on. Take a flyer. You know what I mean? Like, start calling every roster and tamper the hell out of it and just be like, hey, future Hall of Famer Jason Witten here. You want to come play tight end for me at Oklahoma? Like, I don't know. Take some calls. I don't know. I don't get it, but so yeah, I would like another tight end because you lost, Carson Kent, you lost Bauer Sharp, you lost Caden Helms, so you need 3. I mean, you're bringing in 2 freshmen, but I think one's injured, so I'd like to see a third. And we could use more OL depth because we're only taking 2 OL in this class, and we lost, like 8 offensive linemen. So I don't know. I think that all of our starters are currently either committed, signed in the portal, or on the roster. Like, I truly believe that.
Yeah. Well, I'll be interested to see.
Are you guys talking about Zadavian Sims?
Probably.
Zadavian Sims, the C4 product, where all these OU fans went down there and he picked Oregon and it got real awkward?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Zadavian Sims is a fine football player.
That was a time a few years ago.
And time heals all wounds, so
indeed.
Maybe he can back up Danny Okoye.
Trav, what do we think about the national championship game? Who are we picking? How are we?
Man, I mean, Miami is a big underdog. What did I see? 8.5 points, something like that. That's a pretty sizable underdog.
Yeah.
And I know maybe I should expect it, considering like Indiana, all they do is just win and win by a lot lately. And I mean, that Alabama game was shocking. And then the Oregon game got even worse. And a lot of that, Oregon was just screwing up. Like they're out running backs. They're running into each other. They're fumbling the ball. They're just throwing pick six to start the game.
Yeah, it was crazy. It's probably why Dante Moore came back.
Right. Well, he came back because he didn't want to go to the Jets. The Jets were like, we're taking you number 2. He's like, speaking of number 2, deuces, I'm headed back to Oregon. So
is Raiola back in the portal? Is that correct?
I don't know if he's back in the portal. I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that. If I'm Dylan Raiola, I'm sitting behind Dante Moore for a season. Dante Moore was a 5-star at UCLA, transferred to Oregon, and then Dylan Gabriel signed at Oregon. Like, he was fine sitting behind him. He was better off for it. And then, he's got the same opportunity to sit behind Dante Moore. A clear top 5 quarterback, at least in the draft. And you got an opportunity to sit behind him, chill out, stop your, cosplay of Patrick Mahomes. Just chill out. Sit on the bench. Oregon's not cutting his NIL deal. So sit back there and collect a check and learn from one of the best quarterbacks in the country, how to be a starter and how to be a successful starter and learn the offense and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Oregon's ceiling just is so dramatically different in 2026 now that Dante's coming back. So dramatically different.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you think Raiola is good, Dante Moore returning is a proven commodity in your offense that just led you to a Final Four. You're going to be in good shape. And that whole secondary is a bunch of pups. They're only going to get better. So
we got one of them too. Dakota.
Yep.
So
he couldn't get on the field because they're so good over there.
Yeah. What's your score prediction, Drive, for the game?
Man, it's crazy, but because it's hard not to pick Indiana in a blowout. just because what we've seen from them lately. I fully expect Indiana fans to make it a home game, even though it's being played at Miami's home field. Like, I I think give me because I think Mendoza's going to score a little bit. Give me 31-17 Indiana. That's 2 scores. That's a blowout in a national championship game.
Oof.
It's crazy because halfway through the year, like, so many people were like, man, Indiana's fraudulent. Yeah,
Wow.
some big numbers.
Some big scores. I was
Malachi Tony is going to score more than 3 points himself. That dude is
I was so focused on what they said. I missed what did you say? What was your score prediction?
31-17.
31-17. Okay.
Yeah. What about you?
I'm probably gonna go 35.
These are your people.
What?
I said these are your people.
I'm probably gonna go 35-17. I think that Miami will be the most physical team that they've played since Ohio State. But I think that Miami is also prone to make mistakes, and if they make mistakes, then IU's not going to allow them to get up off the mat. I fully believe that. So Indiana's offense is better. I think Miami's defense, bless you. I think Miami's defense is slightly better.
I think Miami's defense is better. I think Miami's defense is like I think it's one of the top 5 defenses in the country. They got a great secondary.
Sure. Yeah.
Defensive line's good. Ruben Bain's a monster.
Yeah. No, I think that the Miami's defense is good. I mean, Indiana's is good too, right? But Miami's defense for sure, I think, has the edge. I would give Indiana's offense a particular edge over Miami's offense. I think Mendoza is better than Beck, and will make better decisions.
Significantly better, I think.
Right. Now, the running game, Miami's running game is pretty impressive. They're like I said, they're pretty physical, and if they can somehow control the ball and not make mistakes and keep the ball away from Fernando, then that's their best shot to win, in my opinion. Or unless IU just makes mistakes like they haven't made all year, which we've yet to see that. So it'll be interesting. But yeah, I feel like it's going to be 35-17. IU.
Yeah, I would say what about how they do the fan vote? The America's pick. On all these. How many people do you think? Like, what's the percentage split of people in the United States who are rooting for Indiana versus Miami?
80-20.
I think that's wildly conservative. I think it's more like 95-5.
Yeah.
Like, people hate Miami. Like, Oklahoma fans hate Miami. Like, even their own conference mates hate Miami.
Yeah, that's true.
Like nobody. No, I don't know of anybody. Like, if you're just a casual fan, you're rooting for Cignetti and Fernando Mendoza is really easy to root for, and like you're rooting for the story of the guys that his coordinators that were making $6,000 a year, and having to take loans from their parents. Only 8 blue chip kids. Everybody talked about, we need to expand the playoff because we want everybody to have a chance. We want it to be the Cinderella stories that are getting. This is your Cinderella story. It's not JMU. It's not Tulane. It's not North Texas. It's not any of those. It is the Indiana Hoosiers. They are your Cinderella team. You're not supposed to be able to do this. You're not supposed to be able to take 8 blue chip guys and just lay waste to college football. You're not supposed to be able to do it. And it's not a model moving forward. I think the model is something that a guy with 2 thumbs, this guy has been saying for years of continuity. Kurt Cignetti's had the same coordinators forever.
Yes.
Forever. He's had all those JMU players that transferred in. They've been his players. They know the culture. They know all that kind of stuff. Like, continuity. Like, and with he's changing the game. He's going to change practice schedules. Like, I talked to Trey Lamb about it, and Trey was like, "Yeah, we're going to the Kurt Signetti model. I got multiple people on the Indiana staff that I know really well." He's like, "We're." He said, Indiana didn't tackle once in practice all year." He's like, "There's no need." He's like, "It's not worth risking, injury in a practice. When you need those guys." He's like, "We're not tackling a practice. We're doing walkthroughs. We do 30-minute practices. We make sure that we're loose, we're healthy, we're energized, we know the game. So like we spend more time in film, like really it was fascinating. So yeah, I think everybody's cheering for the underdog, the Cinderella story, Indiana Hoosiers.
Yeah, I cannot disagree that most of the nation is pulling for Indiana. I need Travis. I need when Pat McAfee when Indiana wins this game. I need him not to go over to Michael Irvin in particular because I think that would be wow. But he needs to get a trash can and he needs to grab one, have a belt, take it off, and just belt it. Just take it. We told you not like that. That would be to me. That would be hilarious because obviously we know that Michael Irvin's been doing that, which is it's been great content. He's been doing it the entire playoff, and
yeah,
would it be to have it flipped on him in his own home? That would
man.
That would be insane.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. Like, I get you're rooting for school, but it's entertaining. But like him he's like getting on the field. Like,
yes, he's like
it's
acting
just
like he's in a huddle.
Right. It's like, we get it, man. You played here, 45 years ago. We get it. Like he's no spring chicken. Like,
No.
this ain't Baker coming back and losing his mind. Like, a lot, like all the coaches he played for are retired or worse. Like, and like I said, I love the passion, and but so much of it seems so performative. Like, he's got his own camera crew, watching him. He's doing all these crazy poses, and it's like, I don't know. It's just I feel like it's such an act.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see it. Especially at this point. He's been on TV. We know he probably uses them. Let's just be honest about it. It'll be fun to see. Miami's gonna have the stars out now. They're gonna have all their people. They're gonna have everybody live in Miami popping out there.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be interesting.
It'll look like a Colorado game, year one.
Yes. Yeah, it will. No, it'll be interesting to see how it turns out. But I fully believe that Indiana will bring home its first ever national championship, and that Curt Cignetti will cement himself as just having one of the greatest coaching turnarounds in sports history.
Yeah, he's got to skyrocket up the all-time coaching rankings.
Yes,
skyrocket. To take this team against all data that we have on how much blue chips and recruiting matters and all this kind of stuff, to take that, and he's going to change the way coaches run practice. He's going to change, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah. It's one of those. Where were you when this guy came around? A Bill Belichick, Greg Popovich, Nick Saban. And again, does that mean that Indiana's going to win like 5 national championships? I don't know. But again, the fact that they're even in contention for one right now, based off of where that program's been, is crazy.
Right. No, I agree. And well, now he's like, oh, you like that? Watch this. I'm going to go get whoever I want out of the portal.
Yeah,
Like,
bro.
which is ironic because he's having the best season in Indiana history and laying waste to all the talented teams.
Yeah. 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 Well,
Yeah.
that's that's about the gist of I think what we had to talk about. Unless
That's a
anybody
good
else
it's a good
specific
place to wrap.
questions. Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like it is too. Unless anybody has anything crazy to ask, not Kirby, but
Yeah. That's all he knows.
yeah. But no, we appreciate you guys. We appreciate y'all rocking with us, and yeah, I mean by this time next week we'll have a national champion crown. So we'll talk about that, and it'll be full fledged into transfer portal being closed. Have an idea of what spring roster look like. We'll probably start talking about, hey, what does you know the roster look like for the spring? What does it need level to get better? All those things. Kirby, I think most people would trade Signetti for their current coach with what he's done. But Travis, really quick, let me tell you my theory on why I feel like this has worked so well. And I'm not saying that Signetti cannot do this somewhere else. I'm saying the synergy, the reason that it's the way it is because there were no expectations in Indiana. They didn't care. There were no boosters saying, "Hey, bro, like you." There was no history. Hey, we need to have this coach here. We need to have this guy here. Like, no, he brought all his people. He filled the archaic hole that will, or not even archaic. There was none that was there, and he is allowed to do what he needs to do. I think at a blue blood or even a mid tier school, a lot of that is hard to find.
Well, I would agree. I would agree to an extent. Like, there are a lot of OU fans that will not pay NIL money because they watched Barry Switzer and Bob Stoops do it without NIL money. And I know they were paying they'd be naive to say they weren't paying. But to say like, well, they've done it before. Why do I need to do this? We're Oklahoma. We don't need we don't need to do that. Whereas upstarts like Indiana, like Tennessee, like Ole Miss, right? Like Texas Tech might be the best example of them all. Like those teams that have never won a damn thing, it is very easy to engage their alumni in a way to give money to them. Indiana has the largest living alumni base. And like Mark Cuban's given money, like the founder of Cameo's given, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like they're cashing in big money. I think there was another $10 million from somebody else I read, some insurance guy. Like they're spending because they want to know what it feels like to have one of the years that Oklahoma's had 7 of. Like that's what they're going for, and now they can finally finance it. Like it's up to them. Like they can impact it.
Yeah.
And so when you look at the support, when you look at the, like Texas Tech, when you look at that, like, yeah, Cody Campbell's paying a bunch of money to it, but he's not the only one. Texas Tech's got there's a lot of oil money out in West Texas.
Yeah.
So like they're putting a lot of money in because they saw the opportunity. They're like, we've never amounted to a damn thing here in Lubbock as a football program. Outside of a couple good years with Leach, rest in peace, like we have been nothing. And now you can buy something that we've never been able to accomplish. Cool, bet. Here's my money. Whereas Oklahoma, it's like, you see all these trophies? We didn't get these with NIL, so we don't need to get them with NIL this next time either. We're going to do it the right way, quote unquote. It's like, all right, well, those other places that are paying gobs of money, they don't feel bad about it. Like they're not apologizing. Cody Campbell's not apologizing for making the playoff as a top 4 seed.
Yeah.
Oregon's not apologizing. Oregon and Tech, probably the best 2 examples out there. They've never won a damn thing. and yet they got money behind them, and they're not trying to hide behind some, traditions and excuses and all that kind of stuff. Like, they don't have to. They're like, we've never accomplished anything. I'm going to change that. I'm going to blaze this trail for the school. I'll be remembered if I do this. At Oklahoma, it's like, cool, you helped us get number 8. And that's a bad thing for Oklahoma. Like, that's a negative thought process, but it's also human nature.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I mean, yeah, that is what it is. It'll be interesting to see kind of what comes of the championship, because if Indiana wins it, even if they don't, I mean, they're proven enough. But if they win it, man, you're talking about potential in this era with what they're doing, potential juggernaut on the roll. So, yeah, I don't have anything else, man. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Thanks everybody in the chat. Thanks, Kirby. We'll see y'all next week, same time, I believe. If not, we'll let you know. But yeah, until then, Boomer.
Sooner.